day. I've left Marley at home. Have gone, all been devoured, and some more of my peas. So I'm not having a lot of luck with this particular space, much against my own desire. I've decided I'm going to keep Marley away from here for a while and get some slug pellets down. Okay, so all in all, not a lot of success. They're leaving the sweet corn alone. That's one blessing, but it's got to be dealt with. Right, potatoes, just about ready to harvest some of these. They are on the verge of opening, but these are the Charlottes, and these ones are the Marquies, and over there the Sarpos, which have got a little bit more distance to go yet. I noticed the leaves are getting chewed apart over there, so there's definitely lots of slug activity around here. An update on this bit: I had a couple of sunflowers growing at home. As you can see, they're far more advanced than the ones that were down here. One of them's actually got a flower on it, and with a bit of luck they'll bed in very quickly because I planted them complete with the soil that was in their pots, so they should be fine. Tomatoes are doing quite well. They're all withstanding whatever the weather's thrown at them. As I was saying last time, the gooseberries, not a single flower or berry on them, so end of the season I'm going to prune that right back and give it a chance to do something next year, but it's not going to do anything this year. Alright, in here, oh, there's a bit droopy. That was actually hanging out. I think the last lot of rain must have washed the soil loose, so I've moved it. No sign of any frogs or tadpoles today, but at least we've got some sunshine, which means the fountain's busy. I'm going to get myself some fish this week, so hopefully that'll bring the pond to life. I'm sure I've got a couple of frogs in there, little baby ones. I know I've seen one. Look at that bit of grass decided to come through the lavender. I'll just grab that and take it out. That's it, grass-free lavender. Something's still eating all my plants around the pond. That one's completely finished now. It's even had a go at the lavender here, stripping the leaves off. Now I don't know anything that eats lavender, so we're going to have to find out. Over there, had some stripping going on. The marigolds have had their insides ripped out. They seem to leave the cosmos alone, which is a good thing, but here we go. These are, what do they call these things, petunias. They've had it, they've been eaten. So, another one been eaten there. And round here, just had a go at this one, not quite chewed it all off yet, but still life. Marigold, look at that one, completely wrecked. And again there, it's had a go at that one, and that one's gone. So I've got to do something about the slug problem, otherwise I have no crops whatsoever. It's crazy, isn't it? You go to all that trouble and then something comes along and eats it all for you. Alright, we'll go in the greenhouse in a second. So here we are in the greenhouse, and my cucumbers are looking quite healthy there. I've got 5 purpless, and I'm not going to risk putting them into the grow bags yet because the slugs are still at work in here. And in fact, this morning I removed a snail that was chewing away at that radish, that one just there. I don't know if you can see where my finger is. So they don't mind climbing. This lot's a bit dry, but I did water it earlier and the soil's moist, so that's okay. Those cosmos are going to have to go out. They're going to be massive when they're grown. One carrot is doing well, that's about it. So, and then in the others, one carrot is also doing well, but we're not having a lot of luck with those. Right, these are my tomatoes. Look at the leaves. We have got some sort of white powder on them. It's really weird. Lots of trusses of flowers, still no fruit set. I have been feeding them, and I did give them a spraying of Epsom salts the other day. These little tomatoes here, which initially I thought were marigolds, coming along nicely, so they'll be quite good soon. My little brassicas down here, I want to put them out, but I don't want to put them out while there's a risk of them getting eaten, because everything else is beyond, isn't it? My sunflowers here, I think I'll give them another 2 or 3 inches in height before I remove them from those, yeah, whatever you call those, the modules. And here, my little flowers, again, they need to go out, but I can't put them out just yet. The only one here, the sweet corn that's growing, is that one. I'm not quite sure what that is in there. Guess what this was? I was quite pleased the other day when I was showing you pictures of my watermelon. Well, it ain't no more. It's been eaten. I came in this morning and all the leaves were sitting on top of it, but not connected to the plant, and there was a slug there. He is no more. He's down there somewhere where I squashed him, and he joined the snail that was in my radishes. So I've still got a bit of pest control to get around to. As I say, I don't like slug pellets, but I can't see another solution. It's ridiculous. I'm losing so much at the moment. I mean, this must be 20 runner bean plants now that I've lost, and I'm just getting fed up planting new ones. I mean, Tony suggested this morning putting them directly in the ground, which is fine, but the way they're working, if I put any beans in there, the very second they push a shoot through the soil, something's going to eat them. So I need to do something different. So I'm going to go out and get myself some slug pellets. I think I need to. Right. Anyway, there's not a lot else I can do today. Oh, there is one other thing, and luckily, as I was having problems with my melons, I put another 6 watermelons to chit. And I have got 6 chitted watermelon seeds that I've covered to keep the dreaded slugs at bay. So they're sitting in those things there, covered up with bottles, and I should just pop in and water them and leave them in here. They're not in the greenhouse. I put them in the shed because it doesn't need greenhouse temperatures now. The temperature outside today is about 25 degrees, and in the in the shed here we are looking at, whew, I don't know if you can see that, but that's about 28 degrees on that scale. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. I don't know if you can see it. It's not far off 30 degrees in the shed, not the greenhouse. And the shed has got a wide open door, and a wide open roof. So even with that kind of ventilation, we've got massive air circulation, but it's still getting hot. Look, such a shame. Doggy bowl, no doggy today. Missed the poor asshole, but you know. Right, got myself a cup of coffee. So I'm going to get stuck into this, and afterwards I'm going to set off for home. So I will catch you all next time. Bye bye for now. Well, today I had an urgent purchase. I got myself, much against my desire, some slug pellets, because yet again they've been devouring all my crops in the greenhouse. Even my new cucumbers, which I have over 3 foot off the ground, and look, they've still managed to come up and chew away at the leaves. So I'm now looking for somewhere else to put them so they don't eat them. In the meantime, I've scattered slug pellets all the way around my pots and troughs, and even on the membrane down here, and I've put it in front of the tomatoes, although I've never really had slug tomatoes or slug problems with tomatoes. These are coming along well, starting to get fruit forming on my tomatoes. That means it won't be long before I actually see something growing there. And these little ones here are going to have to go into a bigger space, because I can't see them surviving in that trough for very long. Sweet corn's still thumping along well. My nasturtium needs to go out. It's not going to do very well in that little module. And likewise the sunflowers are now getting to a size where I can almost transplant them. The flowers along here, again we've had a bit of slug damage coming in here. Something's been eating the ends of those leaves, and I've checked under all the pots, there's nothing there. Yet they've left alone what I would always consider their favourites. I mean, here we've got Brussels sprouts and greyhound cabbage, and they've not touched them. Well, I'm saying that with my fingers crossed now. Right, so radishes, I had a look, they're not big enough to pull yet, but I've just planted some directly outside today. I'm just going out there, if I can stop falling over in the greenhouse. Those are definitely going to have to go outside. I can't wait anymore for the Rudbeckia to grow. I've just got a feeling they're not going to germinate. So I'm going to take the cosmos and put them outdoors. Carrots, well, we have got some sign of life in there. Little ones coming through. So it was worth putting those seeds in the other week, or the other day even. Actually managed to get two strawberries today that the slugs hadn't had. I mean, obviously there's plenty the slugs have had, but 2 they haven't. And inside here there were some coming to ripening. Again, I've been very generous with the slug pellets around here. I don't want them eating all my crops this year. They devastated my crops last year, and we're just going to have to, whoops, try and keep them under control. Lots of fruit down there. These are ones that have escaped from the trough. Again, that one was there yesterday, it isn't there today. Peas. They definitely had a go at the peas. We've got one bean plant here, but they've pinched out the top shoot, so that's not going to go anywhere. Ah, dear, dear, dear. Been very windy today. Looks like the corn's taken a little bit of a hiding, but it's still there. We've had something rip into the leaves here. That's the first one, and another one there, and another one there. Maybe they're getting cheesed off now because there's no beans left for them. Look what I've got on my pea plant, a pod. So we're starting to fruit already, and there's another little one coming up there, and one there, one there. So I'll be taking some peas off here and taking them home soon. This one I did tie it up, but it's fallen back. I'll have another go at tying it up. This dwarf bean seems to be dwarfed. That's the word for it. How do they get this high up the peas? That's what I want to know. They seem to go right out on the edges of the leaves. Look at this one, they completely ruined it. I mean, there's a pod growing there, but that's it. I mean, it's got nowhere else to go. Bought dwarf bean, put out the other day. Again, slugs have had it. You see all them little specks of blue there? That's the pellets, and I'm hoping it's going to keep them away. Now over here, lots of potato flowers coming along. These are Charlottes. I'm waiting to see which one flowers first, and that'll be the one that I tip out to take home. So they've all got flowers, but they haven't flowered as yet. Yeah. Guess whose wheelbarrow I borrowed. Yeah. It's good how they come with that etched in rust, isn't it? God, it must cost a fortune extra to have that done. Look at what the slugs have done to all my flowers around the pond. Look. So I have to be very careful where I put these pellets, because I don't want them slipping into the pond, especially as it's quite windy. So I'll put them around the banking, and if I'm going to put anything in the pond, then I can't have them going in there. Bear with me a second. I found one that's close to the edge. We'll get that out of there. That's gone. Right. Didn't like that, it was a bit close to the edge there. And there's another one. They must have slipped down. Let's take them off that side and bring them on this side. There we go. No sign of my tadpole today. He might have legs now, so he may well have flipped the pond. I had to top that up today, because the way the fountain's been working, it's been watering all around here and using the pond water to do it. So it's kind of left the pond a little bit dry, but that's okay. I only took a couple of gallons to top it up. Now, talking of topping it up, despite all the rain we've been having, my water butts were quite low this morning, so I've been round and topped them all up. So there's two there, one over here, one behind there, and one over there. 5 water butts altogether. There's plenty for this little plot. Something's been treading on my spring onions, but they'll survive. Right, in here I have directly sown some seeds for swede. That's in this little bit here. I've also replaced some of the lettuce that were devoured by slugs. This time I surrounded them all with pellets. As you can see, look, the slugs have had a go at devouring this one. That was the last surviving brassica on this row. All the others have been eaten. Right. Again, somebody suggested it might be pigeons, but I don't really see pigeons around here. More lettuces sort of planted in a row here. These are cos, little gems, sorry, little gems. And in this area I have sowed some radish seed direct, so they're going to come up separate from the last lot. I've also prepared this piece here for my next sowing of cabbages, and they'll be going in this week, so I've got to till that bit over there. And I've also covered over my potatoes, 2 rows in here, so that's that bit done. I've also harvested some rhubarb. Let's go and have a look at what I've pulled off my plants today. This is quite a bit. This has been a bit droopy since I planted it in here. I'm hoping it'll pick up. Right, looky here, what have we got? We've got quite a stash of rhubarb here, which I'm just going to trim. And when I've trimmed it, I shall film it again. I'm going to freeze some, cook some and give some away. And I've got just as much more at home as well. So, had a good season for rhubarb. End of this season though, I'm digging out the roots, splitting them and transplanting them over there where those pallets are. Okay, so they're going to move away there because this part of the plot is infested with bramble, and there is no way I'll get it out because it actually comes from right back there, all the way under the ground. It pops its little head up every so often down there, other side of the pond, down by the strawberries. So it just runs underground. And likewise, I'm going to be cutting this all the way back because I haven't had a single flower or fruit today or this season on the gooseberries. So if I want anything out of that, it's going to have to be trimmed or pruned. The tomatoes outdoors are doing quite well considering we've had an awful lot of rain and wind. Those sunflowers do look a bit sorry for themselves, but I have watered them, so they should pick up. I just saw a cabbage white butterfly coming past me. Aren't I glad I haven't sown any cabbages. Right, I'm going to get on and trim this rhubarb, and I'll be back to show you what we got out of it. There we go. Not a bad little crop, eh? Plenty of rhubarb jam there, and rhubarb tarts, and rhubarb crumbles, and some for the freezer. So, I haven't got any scales down here, but I can tell you now, that weighs more than a bag of sugar, considerably more than a bag of sugar. Probably about 1.5, so I'd say there's about 3 kilos there. And some pretty hefty thick stalks too. And look at the size of this, they're good and solid. So I shall get home, chop them up and decide what to do with them. Some to keep, some to cook and some to give away.